Boo boo be doop. Oh no. Hello! Welcome, friends. Hopefully I didn't startle you just now because I realized I said that really loud.
The audience is now deaf.
Hello! It's so great seeing
Don't do it
you.
again. Good
Yeah,
God.
well,
Shut the hell up.
They should have adjusted by now, right? That's how that works.
Hello, American thinking.
Welcome to right. They'll move. I'm a bigger truck. Welcome everyone. Hello everyone in chat. Hecko Gecko, it is so great to see you.
Hecko Gecko, don't do that. Don't do that.
Taco, I'm not very well adjusted in more than one meeting. Well, that's what chiropractors.
To the left or to the right?
Yeah, chiropractors are there for that.
Oh, that's not what I
Not
know.
well adjusted.
God, I need to go see my chiropractor.
Right? Dreamy, good to see you. Wow, we have like all of the Fae hunters are here. That's amazing. So I guess on that note, if you're around on this Friday at 6 p.m. Central, we will be having the next episode of.
Wait, but what about the time change?
No, it is. Wait,
I know.
don't throw me off. I was like, wait, no. Why would it be? No. My brain.
Aaron,
God, it
how
control strikes
we
again.
know you're not driving up there?
Huh?
How we know you're not driving up there?
Driving up where?
6 p.m. Friday,
Yeah.
where I'm gonna be.
Oh, yeah. I know. 6 p.m. Friday night, we will be having the next episode of the Fae Hunters. It is amazing. So good. I am super excited for you guys to see our amazing Hecko Gecko in there, and Elvie and Dreamy and Sonder down there. They did like a spectacular job. So it's gonna be a fun little ride. So don't forget about
I'm
that.
ready for this spectacular experience.
It is a spectacular experience.
Spectacular.
Like,
You know what?
They do not.
Spectacular pennant.
They do not. They do not disappoint. No, Mara is a gem. But I think as far as announcements goes, that's pretty much all we got going
She's a
for right
crystal
now.
gem. Why are
Just
you
a crystal-
revealing that she's a crystal gem?
She's a crystal gem. Surprise! We are going to be down at Galil tonight. He is not feeling well, so we'll wish him the best. Send him some healing spirits or healing words or whatever. Thoughts and
Thank you,
prayers.
coward.
Lay on hands. Oh
Go
wait,
get some
no.
rose
Consent.
water.
Ew. Hell. Gross.
I would
Nice
say
dreaming.
lay on hands, but we don't have consent yet, so.
Fair. I'm a cope. What
Well,
is?
I mean, I don't consent to laying hands on them, so have fun with that.
Mhm.
That's fair.
No, I made this character for my other one-shot D&D. It was like a pop culture D&D reference, and I did the lay on hands one, and I named him Chris Brown.
I look like a fucking chia pet.
No. No. Don't like it.
You look like Beaker.
No, don't like it. All right, so in other news, we're gonna go ahead and get started because we have a fun and exciting game ahead of us. So use my
What
proper
game?
name, Coprolite. What is a
What are we playing?
Coprolite? Hecko Gecko. What is that? I don't know what that is.
Are we playing
I know what a
Settlers of
cover is.
Catan?
We are playing
Settlers
Settlers
of
of
Catan.
Catan. This is gonna be 4 hours of Monopoly. That's what
Ooh.
we're playing. What I know.
My sheep for your brick.
I mean, you
Yes.
drive a hard bargain, but here you
I'll
go.
trade your Thay wizard for my 4 goats.
What about for two copper pieces?
Hey,
Yeah.
the goats return. All right.
Echo Gecko,
we-
you just made this geologist really happy, and that's really sad.
Hey, listen, Mara is a
But
girl
mining for
mini
copper,
nut.
found copper light.
Oh no. Okay, here we go. Into the intro. Wahoo! Yay! We're back for another exciting Game of Santos episode. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into tonight's recap, brought to us in part. No, literally, it's in part. So we'll go ahead and go. The parts un. Go for it. Take it away.
Much concern. The day progressed.
Sorry to
so
interrupt,
easily.
Renan.
No, you're
Chat
good.
can't hear you.
Okay, we're good now.
Okay,
Saunders
Go
not.
for it.
Whoa, what's
so I need to
happening?
start over.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
All right,
go.
cool.
The font is happening to Saunders.
As I'm being hacked.
Get some sage. Burn some sage quick.
What's happening?
All right, starting over. The day started so simply.
Have I been?
Come to from a trance with a friend. Go to breakfast with everyone. Even the conversations at their most serious didn't seem this terrible. Proceeding through my day, going fishing, talking to friends. I never thought I would see this again. I can't believe that nothing more than a vision let me see the first love of my life again. And her daughter. My first loves are long gone, but now time tortures me with them. No. Renan comes out of his thoughts and kind of dazes back from looking off towards the darkness of Thay that we're approaching, and takes off into the air, heading towards the front of the ship by himself.
Okay.
But the camera remains in the same place. On just nothingness. Oh. What, you want more? I don't have much to say. I'm nobody, after all. Oh well. If you insist on listening to whispers. Listen. Once upon a time, there was a shadow. It followed its owner everywhere, as shadows do. Until one day, it was happened upon by a little sprout. The shadow was transfixed. Shall I shelter the sprout? Shall I watch it bloom? Shall I press it in the pages of a book? But not so transfixed as not to notice a glimmer of something else nearby. A little ember. The shadow and the light, they're opposites, but they need each other to survive. The shadow approached the ember and said, "Let me breathe life on you that we might both live." And the ember glowed just a little more. The ember was hopeful, but fearful, and it called its friends an augury stone, a distant singer, a somber priest, and the sprout. And truths were revealed, binding them closer. The shadow watched through the sprout's eyes, hopeful they would become closer too, because, after all, a storm roiled on the horizon and threatened to take them all away. And then silence.
Wow! That was so good. I wish I could say that I definitely did that on purpose, but oh, that was amazing. The song change was so good. How do I follow that? Like,
Oh, game's
You
done,
don't.
guys. See
You
you
don't.
next
We
week.
just say, so what are y'all doing?
that was it.
You let us
All right,
make a fool of
see us
ourselves
next
like we
week
will.
for
Was anybody at the front of the ship? Okay, so North, basically Renan just kind of lands next to you, fumbling forward and landing on his knees to some extent.
Oh, so
so
sudden.
was front there too, at the very front.
Yeah.
He lands on his knees in front of me, and I just have to sit like that's okay.
Well, considering he's already crying to some extent, like tears are falling, but he doesn't seem to be showing any other real emotion.
Ooh, can I make a perception check to see if I see this?
Sure.
Right now, Soul is staring up at the scary sky and freaking out. But if he
Yes.
notices Renan having tears,
And then I'd imagine I'd throw one as well since he's sitting next to me.
Sure.
Turn me
I've
and then-
rolled a 16 on perception.
Oh man. Doesn't matter.
What's your
You
roll?
just stayed looking at the sky.
I
is-
wasn't paying attention.
It
I was
is
just 7.
7. I mean, it's not. That's not
It's fucking horrible.
Bad. It's not.
You
It
don't
could be
notice the
worse.
tears right away.
I got a nat 1. I got a nat 1.
Oh.
Yeah, so it couldn't be worse.
Got it. You're feeling led
point
with
of
that.
You're like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It is interesting, like, those of you who are still on the deck, which I think actually most of you came up to see that you guys were approaching the border, weren't you? As I seem to recall, Captain Alina had spoken through the thing saying that you guys were approaching Thay. I believe that most everybody had kind of come up to see what was coming up, right?
Or we were already up there doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
Sonder and I were training when
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so
I think Kindred and I were below decks, but I think we were moving along.
right. All right. So then I guess Soul, you would have noticed the Renan looks distraught, despite the fact that also you're at the atmosphere around you is visibly changing.
For character's sake, Renan, are you a loud crier?
Mm-mm. He's not, like, his face isn't showing any emotion. He's not moving after he's hit his
Well, see,
knees.
Then that's
The
why I
tears
get
are
a nat 1.
just like sliding down his face. That's the only thing you can see.
He's used to flying up beside me, so.
Yeah. So he's not really paying attention.
Soul's gonna notice Renan, and he's going to gently walk over, sit down on the ground, and then just hug Renan. I'm not sure why you may have tears, but I am here as well with all of you, and this is a very scary looking place, unnatural weather. So do not be too afraid, even though I am too, but that is okay. We will be okay.
Weather. Of course. That I suppose could bring someone to tears, couldn't it?
Is that not why you have tears?
I'm fine, my friend.
Okay. And then he gives him a good squeeze, and then stands back up. Goes back to. Oh, actually, he's going to turn around and start walking towards the middle of the ship, and just to see who all he notices up there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess at this point too would be about when Kindred and Ardrin are popping up. So the rest of the group is pretty much visible. You do know.
Are me and...
But
Go ahead, go.
no. I was just telling Solo, you do know that like Galil was on the back of the boat. And they had been fishing for the last couple hours, so.
So when
imagine
Soul
that
leaves,
it's-
does that leave me and Renan at the bow?
Basically, like just a little bit behind you was Sandra and Iskra, where they had been kind of going over some forums, and Fanch had been like, watching them work, basically.
Were they close enough to where I would have turned them and like, what are you talking? Oh, or was I just kind of sitting in front of them and blocking them out entirely?
That is kind of up to you. I mean, they were not like they were talking, but it was also more like they were sparring kind of practice. So you could probably, I would say you would have been kind of paying attention to both.
No, me and like me,
you
Renan, and Soul.
Oh yeah.
Soul was talking to Renan kind of gently, so.
Yeah, see, that was the thing. Is
Oh, gotcha.
so it was more of like, yeah, I was just seeing. No worries.
But yeah, so right now, as you guys the boat is continuing along and you guys are looking up around you, you can see this section of the desert and how it is changing. The weird thundering like rumble that you had heard coming from a very... There were some clouds in the sky, but not clouds that would have produced the kind of rumbles that you had heard. And it wasn't even like a normal thundery sound, and that's what's probably would have like disturbed Soul a little bit more. It's just that this is almost like a dark energy that you guys are about to pass through. You can see even on the either side, either the starboard or port side, the sands there along the river are slowly changing color from that normal sand beige to a darker red almost sand, like the
Me and Adam
all right, we're reconnected.
got synced together.
All right. Yeah.
That sounded incriminating.
Be back. All right, it's fucking Windows 98. Get Bill Gates in here. Yeah, for real. But you do see that the
Brain is Windows 98.
yeah, you do see that this change in atmosphere is almost palpable as you proceed along. Like the air feels hauntingly still. I would like everyone to make me Constitution checks, please.
Oh, Constitution saving throws.
Soul's
No,
also gonna walk
not
away.
even
yeah.
saving throws. It's just checks. I just want to
Oh.
see.
That's even worse. Okay.
Wait, so we just do a con roll, not a saving throw?
Correct.
That's what he said.
Correct.
19.
16.
Ooh, 6.
Nine.
Yeah, but what did you roll in game, not in real life?
Oh,
Go Leo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who else am I missing?
they're one and the same.
We still add
As
the
above, so
modifier to
below.
it?
Soul.
If it's a check, do you have a bonus? Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Sunder is from
12.
North, Kindred, Renan. Hold on. I'm writing. I forgot to write their names on paper. I mean, not that I don't know who you guys are, but
Right.
Ardrin. That's the other one I was missing.
Oh, Renan, make a Constitution check.
All right.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
being attacked.
Right, and everyone.
got hit.
Out your pocket Constitution.
We're just sailing through like the Chernobyl exclusion zone, or
Oh no.
I am trying to get my D&D Beyond to work, but
Do you
it's
need
lagging.
dice?
No, I'm getting my dice from the drawer right now.
Okay.
But
Arjun, you said 19.
Yep.
Well, there's a good chance.
Soul. 12. I'll roll one for Galil.
You mean roll A1 for Galil?
Since he's not here, yeah. It's just an automatic failure.
Yep.
That sounds.
for being sick.
Sonder, what was yours?
Next time,
I rolled a
Gadget.
6.
6. Cool.
I'm fucked.
Iskra.
I am water right now, but I rolled a 4.
4. Cool. North. Nothing yet.
19.
You've
absorbed.
Kindred.
16.
in the air
16. And then Renan.
17.
like a water vacuum.
17.
No, 17 with the shish. Gotta get
With
the
a
shish
sound.
right.
I'm not too far off.
Is that like 55?
Swifty.
Swifty. 55.
Okay.
We got a straw.
59.
we're getting too swifty in here.
All right. So
Someone rolled a 9?
I started a thing. I'm so sorry.
No, you didn't
Yeah.
start it. It's been a thing.
Show me what you got.
tell me. Alrighty. So on that note,
Please make that the next like big bad world threat to us. Just
What?
some giant stone head in the sky.
Oh no.
Give me what you got.
oh my god.
Have to do a dance
Well,
battle.
we don't know what the flesh golem, deity that the Thayans worship at this point, so
Who knows?
Fair.
Could be.
All right. So
I
as
mean,
you
we've
guys,
seen snake people, so
as you guys,
Bring out your dead.
are we done?
Third time's the charm. Go for it.
We're very seldomly done, Aaron. Thank you.
we're about to be though.
Okay. Well, I'm going to change some of these scores.
Hey!
Excellent, it's third season.
All right.
I'm not sure about this, Rick.
Oh no. As you guys, as you fucking
geez.
shit. I swear to God,
I hate-
I'm gonna murder
I
the
hate
next
all of
person who
us.
talks. All right. So moving on. As you guys are continuing to pass through this zone, Sonder and Iskra, once you guys rolled the lowest, as you guys are as this is the boat continues on, and everyone kind of like has this moment of a little bit of like a shudder, like it's almost like whenever I don't know, you just have that random shiver that goes down your spine and you're just kind of like, ugh. It's a little unsettling. Everybody, you gotta kind of see them kind of like chill, except for Sonder and Iskra. Like, it feels weird. It's almost like that change in air pressure kind of feeling of just like the air feels heavy and you feel weighted. But it wasn't as intense of a pass for you two.
Because we're immune to season poison. Possibly.
Possibly. But you can see now the way ahead, the reclaimer, as it sails down this river, the water has gotten darker and less. It was not like super clear to begin with, but now it has definitely reached a point where it is now a little murkier, bluish green. And the banks on either side have now risen into a little bit of a kind of like a river cut canyon. The walls are not super high. It's probably goes up about 30 to 40 feet, but you can see that this smooth stone has been blasted with water for countless years and is now just like this smooth path that kind of like moves along as you guys are continuing up river. Go ahead, Soul.
When he sees Kindred and Ardrin come walking up, he walks over to them and kind of gives them a moment to like take it all in what's going on outside.
Mhm.
Kindred, Ardrin, please believe me when I say that this is not natural. I don't know what this is, but I think we should be on alert because this does not feel good.
I think I'll second that.
Aside
Yeah.
from, well, at least for Ardrin, it does feel a little like the sun is still bright up ahead, up above you, but it's not nearly as intense.
Crushing.
Yeah, as crushing as it was before.
Do I know of anything about this being from the area or being knowledge of a past life, anything like that?
Make a history check for me, Sonder. What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna splash Iskra's water body.
Just like hit it. You
Sir,
try to hit her
did
on
you
the
No,
ask
just
for
kinda
shoulder.
like a-
consent?
You hit her on the
Did you
shoulder. Her
ask
shoulder
for
flies out.
consent, though?
No.
I like
Do you feel-
disperse a little.
Do you feel that? Earlier?
I'm gonna nod and then come out of my
Not the-
water form. Like,
Not the water part. See, oh my god, Graham got me.
Nice.
That'd be 18.
18. Yes. Actually, North, you do remember that through your trek back home, this was almost the norm. And it seemed like once you reached a certain point outside of most of their cities, and especially away from Mount Thay itself, the further you got, the less intense this feeling was. The less intense the corruption that kind of it feels like that kind of canvases this desert changes the further out you went.
So kind of like an
Oh, go ahead.
enveloping sense of doom or like sense
Yeah,
of
it's
evil.
just oppressive. Like it just feels heavy and dark.
Fresh.
Yeah.
So then after Soul comes in fifth, then we kind of get a chance to look at everything. I just start rubbing my temples, and when I open my eyes again, they're flashing brighter, and I cast Detect Magic just to look at everything, and especially after feeling that weird whatever that was.
Okay. Make a perception check for me. Sonder, what were you? Oh, and then yeah, Iskra, you come out of your water form, like
yeah. Responding to
Terminator.
Sonder.
like the Terminator, just like form yourself again.
Nat 20. Oh, so total perception. God damn it. 27.
27.
Mm-hmm. And I want to like make sure I like look at the water because like that's weird to me.
Yeah. Nothing really catches your eye that is out of the usual and within the range. Even walking over to the edges of the ship and looking down at the water, it still looks like normal water. There is this faintest bit, and that's only because you rolled so high. There's like the faintest like shimmer to the air, and it's not necessarily a magic aura of any kind. It's almost just like an after effect.
Got a slight residue.
Yeah, there's just a murkiness to the air that seems more present whenever you are in this detect magic form versus normal sight. Because in normal sight, it's still like the sky is still blue above you, but it's become this like darker shade of blue. It's almost like there is like a giant sunglass over Thay, and it's just kind of bringing a different tone to the world.
Well, this is odd. It's almost like we can taste an after effect, but not really. It's just unsettling. Y'all felt it, right? You just
They
I'll
still
kind of
feel
turn
it.
around.
Yeah, it is.
Like a pressure change or something?
Got nauseous for a moment.
Whatever this is, it's and it's like as far out as I can see with the detect magic of range of 30 feet, right? Like it just keeps going as far as I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'd still be on the front of the ship, and I'd just kind of put my head down whenever I hear them talking about it and just kind of turn. No, it's just they. I felt this before.
What is
It's
the
just the old
purpose of them creating something like this?
It's not necessarily created per se. It's just the atmosphere here. Or at least all that I know of. It's just polluted. All the
Thunder.
horrible things they've done.
How are you feeling,
Who?
Thunder?
How am I feeling
Mm-hmm.
right now?
You can feel.
No, 2 weeks from now.
No, like right. I was responding. Right now, I'm okay, but when we pass through, nauseous,
You'll feel nauseous.
or
little
disoriented for a moment. Yeah.
Can I ask a favor? Come here. We'll go over to the edge. I'll pull out a empty vial and mage hand it down into the water just to get a scoop of it and kind of look at it, swish it. Like, you're immune to poison, right? You said that.
Right.
Would
Give it
you?
to me. Mm-hmm. I'll drink it.
And as I start like reaching in my bag to get ready, antitoxin in case we need it. But okay.
Poison and then also resistant to acid, just in case.
No.
And immune to disease as well.
No.
As the reclaimer slowly starts to sink into the water and everyone dies. 'cause
I've
the
actually
acid river.
that crossed my mind.
That's it.
Soul
Listen,
does
I
look
know
at
that
what
DMs have a bad rap for being maniacal, but Jesus.
Soul looks over at what Kindred is asking of Thunder. Just hands him this polluted-looking vial of water. It's just like,
And it's like when you pick up river water, like it's
got soot and
still
dirt.
clear. Yeah, it's still clear. It's got a little bit of a haze to it, but it's not like this vial
Can I
of
try
green,
to-
dark green Gatorade or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise an eyebrow at that. It's like,
yeah.
do you really want to drink that silt?
I'm gonna try to move it around with shape water.
Yeah,
If
so you
it
can move the
lets
dirt
me.
particles down at least or whatever. And there's a little bit of dirt that you can kind of start to you maneuver the water inside the vial itself to kind of keep that lower than the water you are drinking. You kind of start to separate because I think that it's one of the things with control water you can purify it, right? Or
Yeah.
so you're able to kind of keep the very obvious bits of like sand and silt to the bottom as you like take a drink of the water.
I'll smell it first.
Okay.
What's it smell like?
Fish.
Oh.
Ew.
Kind of.
okay.
It's very, very.
I can breathe through water, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
not
It's a
terrible.
very faint. It's not like, oh, this smells like dead fish or anything. It just has a slight fishy smell to it, but
Good.
not a lot.
Not
You
like
drink it
Red
down.
Tide.
Yeah,
I'll drink it down and wait. And then whatever like silt is left, I'll give it back to Kindred.
You lit the
Look at it.
little spittle at the bottom of the bottle when you drink
Backwash,
some
my
of the backwash.
favorite. Yay.
What? As you drink it down, it
Oh, taco.
It
Oh,
tastes-
oh.
tastes like water. A little bit on the like natural water, like it's not a spring clean water, but
It's not
it doesn't.
Evian?
Yeah, it doesn't taste. This ain't a Fiji river, but
It's
Is it
raw.
salty?
no,
Alkaline?
not really. It just tastes like river water.
Kind of like swishing it around.
It just had that
A
little,
little
bit
bit
of
of grit.
a brief
Getting that
smell to it.
bouquet.
Yeah.
As Sonder metamorphosizes into a environmental scientist.
His the third eye, a fourth
That
eye, and third
is-
and fourth eye start boop boop popping out of his head.
That is my major, so.
Oh, there you go.
Hey!
Hey.
He's like one of those obnoxious people who go to the wine drinking and making all these noises, like
Yeah, that's
Oh,
exactly.
Dean, you're okay. I'm like, well, at least we know we can drink it if we have to. But
Fanch looks over
oh,
The edge.
fucking bitch.
and comes back over to you guys and like after she hasn't said anything while you guys were talking about it, but she then kind of nods over to North and's like, so you've been through this area before too, huh?
Unfortunately. Only once. One too many times.
You kind of forget after a while what it's like. It's been a minute since I've been in here.
Insight check.
Sure. I mean, she's talking to North, but yes.
I know, but I'm watching her.
You have been.
Lies. It's been
Just
10
out of
minutes.
frame, just squinting at her.
And if the camera goes like a little bit this way, I'm just standing there.
Hands on the hip and everything. Like,
Yeah.
17.
She seems very she's not like, there's no like deceit to her what she is saying. She's just having a conversation with North. She just kind of watches Sonder and like crosses her arms. She's like, you doing all right over there?
I feel okay. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Performance check.
I'm fine.
Right.
Well, like I said, get to me by sundown if y'all have things to be sent. But Arjun, when you get a chance, I have something to ask you later. I'll be in my room. Let us know if we come across anything like super creepy or crazy fucked up soul. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I said super. We already know it's creepy.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the next level of super.
Gestures broadly at everything.
Did
would be
Soul
good
just
to
do a
have.
sarcasm?
Oh, he
There's-
did.
You just gestured
So
to
learn
all of me.
sarcasm.
But yeah, and then I'll just be like, yeah, I don't like this taste in the air, and go back downstairs.
Okay.
I don't like the taste of the water.
Don't think I'd like
No.
it here either.
That would be good to have the knowledge and expertise that Pigog's sister had. Oh, there's no one here that's from the original. Well,
You
Khalil
want to
maybe.
elaborate on that there, or you're just gonna let it hang in the air?
Well, one of our original party members, Pigog, had this sister that had ventured with us for some time under a different alias. She's gone back to the Feywild, but she used to be under the control of the Thayans. She knows some of the culture. She would be helpful. But we don't know where she's at.
I mean, if it's any consolation, I'll try and do the best that I can. And we had to obey a few of their weird rules. Okay. But, you know, as far as, you know, crossing your T's and dotting your I's, then, you know, I'm sure we can figure something out.
What if they already know about us from our last encounter with them?
Have you guys been encountering them often?
You could say that.
A couple
Oh,
times.
right. That's right. You remember you told me about the dragon.
I'm sure they have a profile of a half-naked blue man somewhere in their files.
I mean, you know, if they don't, then they're missing out.
Eh,
She kind of like grins mischievously.
Fanch,
Yes?
what can you tell us about how people talk and act, and like any kind of protocols that we might want to know walking into one of the Thayan cities? Like, does everybody there have your accent, or is that?
Port circuits.
There we go.
Isker, what you
Yay.
eating? That looks good.
But like, is it though?
We're back.
Oh, she's under
So
the
as we
mute.
left,
Yeah.
last left off, it was Arjun asking if, there are any kind of
Accents.
dialect, accent, protocols, customs.
As far as I can tell, when it comes to interacting with members of the Thayans, like any of the head honchos, you just reverence and respect. They probably prefer it if you grovel a little bit. They kind of have a bigger ego about that sort of thing. But other than that, I mean, just like you'd expect with meeting foreign dignitaries, except that these people, sometimes have undead following them around carrying their stuff. That was always a little weird. The
What
general
about
pop. Go ahead.
What about the regular rank and file people?
You can imagine in a city's like poor side, and just spread that around the entirety of the city, except for whoever's not directly, especially for those who are not directly involved with the Empire. They don't exactly keep things nice for a lot of people. So if there's a place or a scummy, the scum tend to try and hide out. They'd hide anywhere.
So is travel kind of a normal thing within Thayan culture, like people going from one town to another that are just the regular townsfolk?
Merchants usually get away with the most travel. I mean, if you're a slave, then you're not going anywhere. But if you're a free folk that just have a job or whatever, it's not uncommon for people to move from city to city, I suppose.
Probably
probably
not
sound
on
like
an
a
airship, though.
Not on an airship, though.
I'm not sure if this is a dumb question or not, since I've never been to Thay, but do they have things like inns and taverns? Is it that kind of place, or is it more dystopian?
No, they have places you can find refreshment at. It's like they may not be always the nicest of places, but there are some good ones. I mean, I've never been to this city, so I don't really know.
No, but just
But in general,
the general.
From the places that we went to, it's basically like any other city you would come across. It's just darker and vile.
And I would know a little bit about this too, also, right?
First, to some degree, as I seem to recall that your travels back, you tried to avoid as much of the cities as you could so that you wouldn't be seen as being like the half and or like the partial hobgoblin. You kind of avoided it where you could and stayed away from the innermost city and kind of stayed to the outskirts when you couldn't avoid it.
No worries.
So, what does grovel mean?
Lots of bowing and yes sir, no sir, etc.
In your eyes.
Yeah,
Right.
probably the best. You don't really want to look at them anyway. Sometimes they're really weird.
Well, I mean, they're scary for one, but I don't know. I just don't understand why people live in places like this.
A lot of them don't really have a choice. Most of them, there is a large population that work as slaves for the Empire. And some people like it like that. This is why a lot of, like I said, there's the scum of the earth. I mean, there's good people there too, but if you are a little more on the darker side of things, especially when it comes to the law, this is the perfect place for you to hide.
Well, if you live in an environment like that your whole life, can you blame them?
I suppose not. She kind of shivers a little bit and like rubs her arms.
Is it cold, or is it just a general feeling of a rolling shiver kind of thing?
Yeah, it's just kind of that.
Yeah. Just getting a sense.
To Spice Murmur Kindred.
Okay.
Are you busy?
I just barely got down the stairs. What's up?
I was wondering if you could send a message to Princess. Not for the reason you're thinking, but but I'm thinking perhaps she
Just come here.
knows.
I want to see this in person.
He's blushing is what's happening in person.
But perhaps she knows a
I
place.
didn't
I've
that
already
we
taken my
can-
somebody
spice
that was-
armor out because I'm like, I want to hear this in person. So
I didn't
saying what
know
you're saying.
somebody who was blue could turn that shade of red.
Gosh.
She's purple.
Purple,
Shirts
yeah.
of purple.
Yeah.
Purple nurple.
Okay, I like begrudgingly walk over there.
You see me just sitting on my bed, and even Plume's got that look of like, haha, and I'm just like swirling a wine glass.
So is Plume.
Where did you?
Your part of the wine glass is empty.
Doesn't matter.
Still doing it.
Doesn't matter. I'm still swirling.
It's got that river water in it, and he's just like, back for some more.
Cryptosporidium.
But
Go ahead, have a seat.
Your computer's like RAM is going fucking nuts.
Well,
that is
his
the only
hard
reason it would put
drive
that
is
much
at
stress.
100% all the time.
oh,
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
it's just constantly just.
So there's
All right.
been aspects of it when we were diagnosing that sounded a little like a power virus.
All right. We are back for the moment.
Not on mine.
All right. You have to refresh it.
Refresh.
Refresh.
Cream fresh.
Oh, there it is.
Run away!
like when you
Alright.
do an
Also-
anime and like the anime ends on the same scene, but then they redo the scene and it's like just slightly
slightly
different.
changed.
Dragon Ball Z in the 90s.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Kindred. So I was wondering if we could reach out to Princess, given her status as the Princess of the Underground. She might be able to find places for us to hide out in within the city that we know are safe.
I just sit there for like 10 seconds, just like staring at you with a smirk, like. Okay. If I just say princess, it's gonna be generic, and since my voice is different now, did y'all?
I can send
I
it.
cannot.
Or,
Oh, you can send it.
all right.
Go for it.
She knows my handwriting.
This is a vocal a message
Yes.
in the mind, so the handwriting won't.
Won't
Change.
transpire.
What about that little box that you send?
That's expensive, and it's gonna be used to go to a tet tonight instead.
Okay.
But, and I begrudgingly ask this, and I don't want to know the details, but is there a nickname perhaps that y'all use that night that she would know it's you?
She knows that my name is. She knows that my childhood name is Bazil.
Azil. And you're sure she'll recognize this?
Yes.
Okay.
Put like P.S. the big blue pill, or
Oh, got it!
The blue beast from the south.
Oh no.
Or Moist Man.
No.
Spooky bear buns. Thanks, Taco.
Ay, ay, ay.
Okay. Wait, let me double check. I've been casting a lot lately.
Monk meat.
Okay, where's my spell slots? Okay. Fourth level. Gonna upspell it. Okay.
It's pronounced. Oh well, if you just say Basil, I guess it's okay.
Look at Plume. You just see me kind of like Brittany Murphy, like, I'll never tell.
It's a dead name.
What? What? Anyways,
You have webbed hands on this camera feed right now.
nah.
What is going on? Go on.
God damn it. Okay.
My
Princess.
computer just
God
said
damn
like
it.
virus protection.
Go on.
Okay. Princess. It's Basil and company. We are in Thay territory. Any names or hideouts you know we can seek out?
Nice.
Very much appreciated. Love you.
Basil.
I said that. But I also said, love you. Let's see what she says. Wait a minute.
You're not lying.
Wait a
so-
minute. Shh.
New princess who dis.
This is not Brazil, but I appreciate the message on his behalf. You're in dangerous waters. Did you, out of the message, I just remembered, did you mention what city you were going to, or you just said in Thay?
I just said in Thay, but I also said Basil and company.
Right. But you didn't
Okay.
say where your destination was.
Nope. I'm not gonna let her turn us in case she wants to and get some extra money.
I know
Rest her
places. Just depends on where you're going. Love you too.
What'd she say?
What did you do to her that night?
What did I do to her?
Or what did, you know what? You know what? Never mind. Never mind.
That's on its own.
Let's just say you left an impression, and she definitely returned the sentiment. But where did y'all agree that we were going to? One second, let me put my spies where we're in. Hey guys, quick question. Where are we headed? Nearest city? What's up?
I'll go to the little like thing with Grandma Illy to see if she knows
I know it
our
starts with N.
destination.
Hey, Fanch. What city is closest to us?
Big city wise, if we're staying on this river, the next biggest city is gonna be Amruthlar.
Amruthlar.
There's a
Thank
couple.
you.
There's a couple little villages, but I doubt we'll be stopping in any of those.
What time is it now? Like, is it getting into the evening?
It's a
We
little
hadn't
after
hit lunch
yeah,
just yet.
Yeah, it was just getting close to lunch because when you guys had woken up, you guys had just hit the waters, and so
Do I have a map of Thay?
you guys did make up a map of like the general vicinity. So yes, you do have an idea of the. I
Graham?
mean, it was told by everybody that to everybody that Amrutlar was your first destination, as it was the first biggest city in entering Thay from the river.
Okay then. Then I guess we would know where we're at and that we're going to that city.
I wasn't there when y'all made the plan, so that's why I'm asking. But
Yeah.
okay, so let me tell you this. Remind me later tonight, and I'll send her one last message if I can. I don't feel comfortable using up all my capabilities at the moment,
Right. That's okay.
but I can do this, and I'll kind of just boop on you on the nose, and then just like tap your staff, and I'll cast my spell for the day.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Bazil.
I would appreciate if you don't share that information.
Oh, just like how you didn't share that I had a brother.
Sorry, you left your spies murmur on again.
Bill's there with popcorn in the corner.
This keeps happening.
No, I don't. I make sure of that.
It's a nasty habit that is, yeah.
All right. So,
Why'd you go from being like Scottish to being like, hello, bruv? Like, you wouldn't really.
Well, because that wasn't me actually talking.
yeah. Anyway, so
That was Banan.
that was Banan. That's how Banan talks. All right.
Pretty much.
What are you? Anything else you guys are wanting to do?
I start writing up all the stuff that I sent you, and I'm preparing for sending it tonight.
Okay.
I'll make a route of the cities that are nearby that we may need to stay in.
Okay.
Safe routes to travel around and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then give those to our captain.
All right. North, what are
I've
you
been
up to?
doing a lot of stuff. I'll just go chill.
Okay.
Lay down in my bed.
Alrighty. Right on.
Kind of as everybody else was in the middle of the top deck, right? Ish.
Yeah.
Getting up, I look around, trying to see if I can find either Kindred or Graham or Ardrin. I read the screen.
Just some
from
bespectacled mook, too pale to be on that boat.
Yeah.
Soon to be a lobster.
I read the screen from Zoom instead of the screen from Twitch.
Yeah.
About it. But looking for one of the two of them.
Well, you know where I am. I told y'all.
So
No,
Arjun's
it's
kind of
not
just
been
leaning
paying
on
attention.
the railing at the edge of the boat, kind of just looking at the uncomfortable nature of everything that surrounds them.
I'm going to take this time because I did feel like the dark energy, but I was like kind of unfazed. I'm going to take some of that fairy flower that I got from the yearwood, and I'm gonna roll me another J of that, just because it worked last time. And I'm gonna find like a dark closet or like a room that nobody's in, and just kind of sit in the middle of the floor.
And hotbox
I'm
yourself.
just imagining you going into like a roof closet, just like everyone's like, "What is he doing? Why is there?" He just stands there with the broom.
I mean, I'm gonna wait until like everyone is doing their own thing.
Right. No, I gotcha.
Because
That's
like,
where all
if you
our
click
this isn't
sprinkler
about the
system will go
flower.
off.
This is about something else. But I'm gonna just kind of sit down in the middle of the floor and close my eyes and like just really try to, not like I do whenever I'm doing that 4-hour trance, but just
Yeah.
like
Okay.
try to feel something.
Okay. Meditating.
Kinda, yeah. Seeing if I get another reading.
All right.
Just,
Yeah.
Was there more to Renan looking for Arjun?
After he finds him, yeah.
Yeah. He's
Going
there
over.
on the deck.
Still with a pretty emotionless face, but having not ever tried to wipe the tears away, he walks up to Ardrin. I've got a favor with I could impose for a moment.
So his cheeks are
Okay.
still slightly wet, or yeah. He kind of just regards him for a minute and just, yeah. Well, what do you need?
I haven't really taken any rooms in the ship, but for the first time in a century, I feel a need to actually sleep. If I could impose for time.
I consider myself a guest here, so you do what you need to do. Be mindful of a little spider that's kind of going to be up in the corner. He's harmless, I think.
Spiders have never bothered me much.
You know what? I'm going to tell him first before you wander on in, just so he doesn't, like... I think he might have a bit of a thing. I'm not... We're still kind of figuring things out. Don't worry about it.
Napoleon syndrome.
Thank you. If anything happens, leave Weismurmer in.
That thing you guys all... Yeah.
If you find anyone to message me, or of course just come wake me if I'm needed. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Non kind of just starts to wander downstairs.
Okay.
Just real quick, Arjun's gonna send a very quick message down to that spider. Hey, so a friend of mine's gonna be sleeping in that room.
He dies.
I know you might be tempted about that. Not him. He's pretty chill. Couple of the other ones though, I might let you have a go at, depending how the day goes. But I was thinking about a name, and you tell me how you feel about it.
Okay.
And if you don't like it, we can pick another one, or maybe you don't like a name. Maybe that's just not who you are. That's okay too. But I was thinking Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart. The bloodthirsty.
That works for me. How do you feel about it?
Pop-Tart. The unseeable. I like it.
We'll workshop it a little bit. You can always add the epithet later if you like. Get a little plaque made.
Okay. What's a plaque? Can I hide behind it? They'll never
sometimes
see
you
me
can.
coming.
Ooh, this is you're gonna be
I love that
a thing to work with.
That's great. Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hey, I'm Spider in here.
Because we let him spell it.
Yeah, but wouldn't it all just be random squiggles?
Yeah.
Okay, start
Written-
teaching him.
Yeah.
How to
right
ma-
now.
how to-
Right.
I literally met him this morning. Okay.
You know.
Teach your child, Arjun. Take responsibility.
I did. Now your turn.
All right.
Yeah, and with that, he's eventually gonna go find Kindred sometime before the evening.
Okay.
But let's see what everyone else is doing first.
Sure. Alrighty. So yeah, you wait a little bit before you're going down and finally meeting up with Kindred. Renan, you find the room that Arjun is occupying. And as you walk inside and sit on the bed, you kind of can't help but like look up and around.
He's not there. No.
Are you gonna look for him, or just kind of don't care and gonna go to bed?
Laying down, I just say, hello, friend. And then force myself to actually go to sleep.
Okay.
And like I said, this is the first time Renan has actually gone to sleep in a century.
A while. In a minute. It's been a minute. You find yourself easily. It's at first it's a little difficult, but then the motions of the boat as it rocks back and forth along the river, the gentle humming sound of whatever magic is going that is keeping the ship moving smoothly over the waters. It's very rhythmic, and eventually you do find yourself able to fall asleep. But have not seen any or whatever little creature that Arjun may have been talking about, as he is currently
Until
hiding.
it's too late.
All right. So, Renan is taking an afternoon siesta. Iskra, you also are retreated to your room for a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping. I'm just kind of like chilling, arms behind my head,
Okay.
legs crossed, sitting on my bed.
Okay.
Maybe kind of playing around with the little bits of paper or something, trying to just not practice really intensely, but just sort of spin things.
You hear a knock on the door.
As usual, I look for which door. I go and open my dresser first. It's like, Crater?
Yeah.
Is there anybody in there?
No.
Close
You
my
hear
dresser.
the knock again.
Walk over to the door, like pop it open.
And instantly you are met with the sounds of a crowd, and Crater pushes his way into your room and closes the door behind him.
That's cool.
Sorry, I know that normally I give you a little heads up first, but I was listening. And I know that you kind of have something you need to talk to me about.
A little.
I'm going to be well, I went ahead and asked for some help with this. So if you give me 1 second, and he like sticks the key in the door and clicks it. And like you can see that he is, something's different in his attitude. Make a insight or perception check, whichever one you like.
He has to go to the bathroom.
He's doing the potty dance.
Mm-hmm. He's been holding it.
23.
23. He's nervous.
You doing all right?
Yeah.
I mean, I realize I probably got you in trouble. I'm really sorry about that.
No.
Like
this is actually really good. He points at the door. She makes me nervous. And
Her name's Sheila, the HR lady.
He grabs the door handle. He grabs the doorknob and turns it. And there is just darkness beyond. In fact, there's so much darkness that it almost seems to move and billow into the doorway like smoke. But it doesn't make it past the door. It just kind of moves and bends there. And then you hear the soft padding of footsteps on earth or stone. And a woman walks in with strange, almost tribally looking clothing. Leathers and some other material that like seems to fit onto her body. Dangling from a headdress are these like long beaded bits, and a cloth covers her face with 3 golden green eyes beneath, and what looks almost like black smoke that kind of just pours down her face.
I'm
And
gonna like look at Crater to like see if he's like changing his posture at all. Like, do I need to be like standing at attention? Like,
he kind of
trying to,
stands.
like-
He kind of stands a little bit at attention, but he kind of backs up and allows this woman to walk into the room.
I kind of copy him.
And he nervously says, I'm sorry for the sudden asking of a favor, but we may have a little bit of a lead on the Agents of Chaos, Lady Morn, if you wish to take a look. And she looks over at you, Iskra. And that's where we're going to take a break. So, I mean, I have a feeling like you might have an idea of who this person is.
Well, yeah. Once you were describing her, I knew.
So,
which
you knew
was so
immediately.
cool.
All right. So, on that note, we will be back in a little bit. And we'll see what else is about to transpire here tonight. Woo!
All right, everyone else.
Yeah, we are back. We are back in business. Welcome back. All right, so last we left off, we are waiting for Sander. He had to go run an errand real quick, but he will be back shortly. Iskra, while you had been in your room,
Yes.
you had been visited by your, I guess, handler. And he had said he'd been kind of eavesdropping on your conversation and had someone who might be more of someone who could actually help in perhaps the situation. And as he had used his trans-dimensional key to open the door and to another plane from wherever he had come previously, a figure had come out of the darkness from beyond the doorway, dressed in strange leathers and clothing that you have not seen before, and her face covered in a bandage with 3 glowing golden green eyes, and the same sort of like black, smoky substance that kind of seems to roll out from under the bandages. She turns to you and seems to like focus on you for a moment, the eyes never blinking as she just looks at you.
Are you the one who has come across this artifact from another place?
I think I know what you're talking about. Yes, the one that rips reality in half or smashes it together.
She looks over at Criterion, and you get the vaguest sense of like concern and WTF.
You say it rips reality?
That's what our Abjurer told us.
I want to see it.
Of course.
She like takes a step to the side and then kind of folds her hands expectantly in front of her.
I'll have to go find it. I don't hear any sound coming out of you.
Oh, nothing. Great, we've devolved. He's lost his voice. Then I'll get that little mermaid.
One
Time! And everything
10
just
years,
blows.
and that's your problem, Fishbulb.
Is this Windows 11's fault?
This is Windows 11's fault. Alright, here, it's back up again.
Okay, so here.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. She, after you say out to go get it, she just turns to you. I can wait.
I promise I'll be quick.
Criterion kind of moves over to the side and like sends behind, almost like behind the door, and Eris goes and sits on your bed and just folds her hands over her legs and just waits.
I am going to become water and go underneath my door, out into the hallway,
Okay.
and start flowing down towards the vault.
Okay. You slither, you flow your way, sluice your way through the room and make it to the stairs, and you just kind of slowly fall over each stair one at a time, trying not to make any noise or cause any sort of like commotion, sticking as close to the wall as you can as you like flow down to that lower section. You make it to the room where the vault is. What are you doing?
Can I get in?
Are you trying to sluice under the door?
Yeah.
Make a dexterity check in your water form. It's weird. It is really tight, but maybe you can find a spot.
Things happen.
This is a 19.
19? You like go along the seam of the door and you can't seem to find a spot that allows your water form to go through it.
I will
It is tightly sealed.
reform myself back to myself then.
Okay.
Like, well, I'm gonna quick message Kindred, like, Kindred, I need to get at the artifact from Valravn.
I know. Let's just say a little snake told me.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? I forgot that you had left Malzahar down there watching the door.
I promise I'll be quick.
It's not locked or anything. It's out of game, out of character. Like, you can open the door.
Yeah.
However, yeah.
Yeah, I was just letting you know because I'm about to open it, and I figured, like, you tend to alarm things.
Yeah.
I had.
That's
Yep,
fair.
you knew.
All right.
I'll just I'll be waiting at the door of your room for you to come back.
As you open the door and you can see it like tightly bound within this vault, so where it like has spot to, like, if it moves around it just hits the cushioned walls, but it doesn't like bang around too much, but you're easily able to unwrap it and take it with you upstairs.
I take it in both hands for a moment, then drop it to my side and hustle up the stairs.
Okay. You hustle up the stairs and enter the hallway with all the line of rooms. You see Kindred standing there in front of your door.
Is there a reason?
I'm getting some help figuring out what to do with this, like you asked.
The teenager?
Yeah, and well, more than that.
Can I wait outside?
Sure. Yeah, wait outside.
And let her pass.
I like crack the door and slip in and close it.
Very sus. Very sus.
By the time Mouse has come back, he just kind of pokes his head up out of my cloak and just, good boy. And then I just like, oh, I'm all against the door.
Good boy, waiting, and then instantly.
Exactly.
Okay. God damn it. So, as you enter the room, you see Lady Morn is still sitting on the bed, and she like slowly stands as you enter. And Criterion had been sitting on the like leaning up against the wall. Not in his normal like super casual lean. You can tell that he is definitely like a little more serious right now.
I'll take the staff and like kind of flip it up and hold it out with one arm.
Okay. She like takes a step forward, and then there is a table or a desk in your room. I forget. I know I just saw this today.
I don't have anything like that.
Okay.
I've got a little planter next to my
that's right. It's the
window.
planter. I couldn't
That's
remember if there was like
That's
if
the
you
closest kind of surface that I would have, really.
Okay. In that case, there is the like a little corner cushion thing, right? In the corner. She will gesture over to that and point there.
Also,
Go ahead. Place it on the seat.
I should let you know. Our wizard knows there's something going on in here, so
She like pauses for a moment, and that was really ominous. She pauses for a moment and like looks very slowly over at the door.
He will be fine where he is.
I nod and go ahead and set this thing down a little more carefully than I'd been handling it before.
Where did you come by such a device?
There was a group of secret police, basically people who were hunting down magic users allied with Thay. In the last town that we were in, Veltalar, the head of that organization owned this.
Interesting.
He was carrying a pendant too, that Criterion let me know identified him as a member of our enemies, like the big ones.
There are many enemies, many things in shadow that are wrapped around the very threads of existence. This is but one of them. And this is indeed not from here. You did well to call me Criterion. What plans do you have for this device?
She turns back to you as she kind of had been leaning over, looking at it, and like running a hand not along it, but almost over it, almost as if she was touching some invisible barrier that prevented her from touching it exactly.
Most of the members of our group think that we should banish it, send it somewhere away, somewhere it can be destroyed or protected. I feel like I want to understand it.
She stands a little taller and looks over to you.
have a curiosity, that of one so young and having only seen one life. Try and keep that in check. It can lead to an easy and quick demise. Many have been lost to curiosity like that. In this instance, though, it does have a certain curious quality to it. What did your wizard friend say? I'm curious.
That it requires pain, basically. The object.
It's not wrong.
That it was evil, that it was almost like keeping a tortured soul inside of it.
She kind of like moves over to the porthole that is in this room and kind of peers out at the sandy canyon wall that is now at the edges of the river.
But also that it can shape the weave, and I shape the elements. The weave is just another one.
Ah, this is a place that is woven by magic. It has been some time since I have been to a plane that is so attuned. Curious that your wizard did not want to keep it for himself. Where I am from, wizards have a tendency of being more nuisances than they are worth. But we are not here to discuss these things. If you feel like this object could be of use to you, then you may keep it here. But if you wish us to remedy the situation and take it away, it will be lost within the deepest, darkest of pits and not found again.
Criterion just kind of like stands like up beside you and does his best attempt at giving like a brave posture, like he's just very serious, but doesn't say anything. But he's just trying to be there like morally for support next to you.
I hate to throw away a possible advantage, but I don't know if I'm necessarily the right person to try to handle something like this. The rest of the party wouldn't be happy with me either. No! No! No!
There you go.
Unless I could have some instructions.
Yes.
Instructions?
The manual.
The manual.
She looks over at Criterion and then looks over at you, Iskra, and then picks it up. And like seems to look it over in her hands.
If you wish us to take it, we will take it. I cannot provide you with more information than has already been given by your wizard friend. It is not going to be a source of a problem, as I don't think its owner is no longer on this plane. I understand that you saw an end to him. Correct?
That's correct. He liquefied, and not like I just did.
That is usually the case when they are from another plane. If I were to perish here, as unlikely as that would be, a similar fate would await my body. And probably yours.
I like squirm a little.
She looks over at you.
You are a brave soul indeed. I can see why you have been chosen to be one amongst the knights.
She hands the rod over to you, Iskra.
In the end, this is your choice. Yours and yours alone. That of your friends on this ship are inconsequential to me. You are the one who has been given the authority. By him or her that gave it to you. You must make the call.
I like touch the dimensional pendant that brought me here in the first place. Well, if I'm responsible enough for this, then I can handle this too. I'll keep it.
Okay.
Can I say... I feel like I should know you.
It is possible. I have not spent too much time here, but I have watched over many places, many times.
Or voice editor thingy?
You're the voiceovers.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's still good.
I think it's about to break again.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, I like this just fine, but puberty hit her like a truck.
It's fine. Let me see here.
She's just being affected by the local Thayan smog alert.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is.
Allergies, sinuses, cleared her out.
Oh god,
Get her
your
a
plane is so
Zyrtec.
smelly.
Oh my god.
Get her a Zyrtec.
For real. Okay. So, for now, while this is deciding what it's going to do with itself, She just kind of nods at you. Perhaps one day we'll be able to speak more. But for now, if your choice is made, I have things to look into. I will see what information I can find regarding he who brought this here. Perhaps that will be of use to you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you. I don't mean for this trip to have been for nothing.
Oh no. I have learned much, and it is always good to see someone else among the hidden. She turns over to Criterion, and Criterion just kind of like does this little bit of a polite bow and goes over to the door, and she kind of like puts up a hand. It is fine. Before I forget, she turns and like digs a hand into her robes and pulls out a small cuboid, looks like a little Rubik's Cube kind of thing.
I meant box.
And extends it out to you.
I'll take it from her.
Perhaps in time, this will come in handy. She bows her head slightly and walks over to the door. And as she walks to the door, like this blackened portal of smoke and green just kind of apparates in front of her and kind of swallows her in this maw of smoky liquid, and she just steps through it without stopping, and it just opens as quickly as it opened. It closes once again, and she's gone. Tertarion's left there going, ugh. She gives me the creeps.
I kind of like her.
Yeah, well, try spending like extended periods of time with her, especially when you're in dark, creepy places and you just see those three eyes just staring at you. It's not something that you really want to look at for a while.
I like smile at him sideways.
So, I think you guys will be okay for now.
I guess so. Got some explaining to do. And some figuring out. Hold up the little Rubik's Cube.
I wish I could say I could help you with that, but that looks like it's something of hers specifically, so whatever it's supposed to do, I guess it'll do it whenever it needs to.
So, since I met her, did I just get a promotion or something?
He kind of looks down at your wrist.
I follow his gaze.
And indeed, you can see that whereas before it had the little altar symbol, there is now a line that kind of runs down the length of your arm. I guess so. Congratulations.
Sort of tense my hand a little.
Yeah. Well, probably best that you don't keep your friend over there waiting.
I think that's true. You wanna... I mean, I don't know which door is best for you right now. With somebody on the other side, does that matter?
I wish I could just freak him out a little bit. Part of me wants to kind of, do that, but he points over at the
Like the wardrobe.
Wardrobe. Thank you. The word was not there. I was like, the bureau? And I was like, no, that's like the FBI? He points over at the FBI that's there. He goes over to the wardrobe and like slides the key in, clicks it over, and then as he opens it, You see it's like a different wardrobe. Like your clothes is not any of your clothing. Like some other random, like very neatly organized set of clothing, but it's not yours. And he like just sits in there and just like, best of luck. Pulls the door closed around him again.
Quick question.
Sure.
Do I like see like the shadow of feet on the doorway, at least?
Make
while I'm like
perception
looking. Okay. So do it one for both listening and for that, or two separate ones?
Just one.
Okay. Plus 19.
You've been
See if
listening.
there's 3 people in there. Then no,
Right.
there's
Been
one person in
listening
there.
and listening. But I've heard nothing. You keep expecting to hear something. And occasionally you'll see movement, kind of like you do see like the little shadow that kind of plays under the door. But you haven't heard a single thing, and you know that you can generally hear pretty well through the door. And then there's a moment of like, or you get another chill again, and then it's gone.
Just kind of waiting, like if I see like now there's just kind of like one shadowish thing moving, I'm knock on it softly, but like enough where I know she would hear me.
Yeah, I'll open the door up.
I just stand there. I don't go in yet. I'm like, you okay?
Well, and I'm like holding both this cubicle object and the staff. Like,
Got another one?
so we talked it over.
You're a teenager, right?
Yeah, and someone more important.
Can I come in? I don't want to stand out in the hall and do this.
Sure.
I shut the door.
I'll sit on my bed, and then there's like the little seating wedge in the corner. I'm like, you could sit over there if you want.
Will do. As I generally try to stay away from the staff.
So, the short version is they're trusting me to keep this.
The organization that you're part of, right?
Yes, and here's the proof. And I like show my new improved tattoo since you just saw the smaller version.
That's just marker. No.
It's just
The stick-on tattoo.
Yeah, it's like one of the, just got a Sharpie and just drew
I'm
the
gonna
line.
go.
So, okay. Next part.
They're going to keep digging at information that could help us. I think that we've caught the attention of somebody higher up in the organization. It's probably a good thing. And she gave me this too, which I don't know what it does yet. But as
I
long
now
as we're
start to like focus on
sharing
that, like,
now, I guess here.
No touching.
Iskra feels weird being this open about everything.
Right.
you set him on the bed, and I'll walk up to you and I'll take both your hands after you place the objects on the bed. I'm like, Iskra, I strangely trust you over a lot of the others in here. And I just look at your eyes like, you wouldn't lie to me about this, would you?
Not this.
Not this.
They,
I love that. I love that loophole. That was good.
Okay.
They, all right. They gave me an option to get rid of this thing, and said they'd trust my judgment,
Then
and I
will
decided to keep it.
But what is that? As I point to the box.
I don't know yet.
Can I?
Please.
As I Go sit back on the corner stool thing, and then I'm like, whisper some words. You see Mal's come out, slither up the bed, and go to it, and kind of circles around it, not touching it, but almost a tight coil. And then he'll just kind of like do the tongue thing, and it kind of like touches it a little bit, and I'll cast Identify.
You can feel the magic go and cast. And there's the briefest little mental squeak. And Malzahar disappears. Psst. Almost like zapped, like a popped balloon. It's like, it doesn't like pop, it just kind of goes, psst, and he's just gone.
Oh hells! I'm sorry.
And there's this weird ringing feedback in your head.
Is Mal's gonna be okay?
I don't know. But don't tell him I said this. Better him than us. So, quick question. In that moment, Terry, did I get anything else or just like ringing?
Just the ringing, it was just kind of like, whoa. It was like this weird feedback of a microphone kind of in your head.
Okay. It's your thing. It's your organization. You can touch it. I trust you. But you might owe me 50 gold later to resummon Mel's. Just saying.
That's
Try.
fair.
Have you tried?
Not yet, but role playing. No,
Yeah. No, I was just curious. I was just curious if you had even like thought about attempting it or not.
not yet.
Iskra starts thinking about if she has 50 gold.
But okay, so then I'll spend like the next. We'll have a good talk with Iskra explaining the full details of the rod as well as how it requires attunement. And I'll see if I can put it in your inventory instead.
Okay. You may add the consternator to your inventory.
The constipator.
No, that is something
Side
else.
effect of attunement.
Maybe it does the opposite of that.
Oh god.
Oh god. No.
So then,
that was the worst.
Don't forget to eat your fiber.
Oh my god.
But after
Like
explaining
you should have
that,
said that as you're doing like the stirring motion, like you got a cauldron.
All right.
I'll let you
Just
know
eat the
here
wheat.
shortly if you owe me that gold or not. But be careful, okay?
Of course.
And I hope you don't think didn't trust you. It's just having Mal's stake out the door. I just wanted to be sure, not necessarily you or us, but someone didn't try to get sneaky.
I understand you're being careful, and I did try to get sneaky. So,
I just shut the door and walked back to my room.
Okay. So, that being done and said,
Did you put it in your inventory already?
I need to find it.
yeah,
Okay,
that's fine.
When you do, it has 1 point of damage.
Okay.
As a
Thank
note.
All right. So the rest of you guys, while all that shenanigans going down, go ahead.
Oh no,
RJ.
if you're doing a thing. Assuming some time has passed, an hour or two.
Yeah.
Because he was going to be making his way over to Kindred anyways, but he'll stop at his own room just to kind of peek in, just to make sure that Renan actually passed out.
The snake has a knife. The spider has a knife.
it's just holding his hair, just a knife
two-
under his throat, like, oh,
two,
hey, boss.
two of the little I'll say paws. Two of the little paws are holding this giant butcher's knife, like ready to drop it. Just kidding.
You know what? Did take my bed, so it's fair game. Like, yeah, so he'll just see if actually Renan did pass out or not, for one thing.
Okay.
And that he's not wrapped up in a cocoon or.
Perfect.
And like he'll just sort of slowly back away, close the door as quietly as he can, and tiptoe away before going into a normal cadence over to Kindred's.
Okay.
Tap tap tap.
Who is it?
Would it be presumptuous to say tall, dark, and handsome?
Not at all. Just straighten up. Get nice and like and then okay, and
Just
then Mage
a
Hand open the
few
door.
Casual castings of
Wait,
prestidigitation.
light some candles and
Oh my god.
put the record on.
Walks away. Oh, yeah, you want to zoom me about something?
Yes. Come in. So,
Click.
long story short, things have happened, and I can't help but have the smallest inclination that what if a part of Vienne took the place of what was in me instead?
You're gonna have to walk me through that line of thought.
So, yes, there was a phylactery, and yes, I feel different, but I've heard voices, not bad, not good, and it's somewhat familiar, but still just fuzzy. And I just can't help but wonder, in the realm of possibility, what if a part of her attached to me in place of the phylactery? And out of curiosity, I may know a way to contact Vienne on a different plane, if you are okay with me doing so.
Okay, there's about half a dozen things there to process.
Okay, take your time. Let me get you some water.
Is there anywhere to sit in that room?
Yes, there is 2 chairs at the desk.
Yeah, he's kind of just gonna slink into the nearest chair and just. I don't know if I'm really ready to have a conversation with her. I don't even know what I would say.
Well,
let's maybe
table
dial
this.
back a step a little bit. Where are you getting the impression that something got left behind with you?
I'll hear voices random times. Not any of the voices like the Spice Murmur, but different voices. And they seems to have its own sentience about it. Like it no things not necessarily I would know, but if it was in a different person entirely. And it first noticed it the very next day after things transpired that night. Coincidental, it could just be a fluke. But in my paranoid state of mind and how closer we are getting into Thay, I don't like loose threads.
Does it sound like her?
That's the thing. It's familiar, but it's not. And I don't know, it's maybe just because I didn't spend too much time with her personally, but I've been trying to figure it out, and I can't tell you yes or no for sure.
You able to conjure up a facsimile of that voice in some way?
It wouldn't be anything. In my mind, it's still fuzzy, and because I'm unclear on things, it wouldn't come out right.
Well,
but we can table this.
It's more. I don't want to leap to that conclusion because I'm compartmentalizing as much as it is right now.
No rush.
But I suppose there's no one else on here that's a little bit more as magically inclined as you are. Because doctors are not the best people to diagnose themselves, so I figure it's the same thing for wizards.
Can't trust those evocation wizards for sure.
Bunch of divas.
Don't tell Neferu I said that. You'll meet her. You'll know who she is. Can't miss her.
Oh,
You
okay.
bitch! Echoes across the lands.
So this is Neferu. Okay. Kindred said a lot about you. Walk away. If I'm honest, I really don't know how to even begin processing that.
Well, you don't have to. Take your time. And I don't mean to overwhelm you. I just thought, if anything, you should be the one to know in case you wanted to know. It didn't make sense, but you are the best.
I knew her all right. But let's assume for the sake of argument that it ain't her. What would be your next step?
Next step is to get back in touch with Carp and Farlight and maybe delve deeper and see what this has. Although, last conversation, they did act like they want to help us. And it, not in a creepy, like, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, but with a giant interest involved, and a genuine, cryptic, I can't always be there, but I'll be there when I can to try to help guide you in the right way. That makes sense?
It is, but normally it's not warlocks that have that kind of voice in their head relationship. That promise you something, offer you something.
This seems like a law of equivalent exchange.
Okay, less vagueness and more, what did it actually offer? What did it say to you?
Well, gave the impression that it knows where to find the graveyard and what to do and how to destroy the things that we find there. In exchange, and this is the weird part though, it wants access to my contacts. That's literally all it said, and trust me, I've tried to manipulate and wordplay my way around it to see what it wants, but that's all I got.
Would you say that this voice has gotten more clear and distinct the closer we got here?
Thinking back on it, Aaron?
That was the first time that you'd heard the voice. That voice particularly.
Okay.
Yeah. The creepy, like, little effects have been going for quite some time now. And you're welcome to try and roll a history check to see exactly when they seem to
I will do
started.
so. I read about it in Hogwarts history. 30-20.
You kind of try and trace back the many times you felt like you've been watched or heard little whispers in the back of your mind. At least since Silver Moon.
explain that. So, I don't know. I guess maybe just in the current events, it's seemed coincidental. I may have overlooked some things, and maybe you're right. Wizards aren't the best to diagnose themselves, but I just wanted it out in the open.
Well, I appreciate that you thought of me in that capacity. But you might want to tell some of the other ones that have a little bit more of a perceptive view of the things outside of our normal periphery.
I've done so already.
Just making sure.
Trust me, Galil will be the first one to slit my throat if it comes to something like that, if need be. Let me go
I feel like there's a history lesson in that I maybe should be
there is
apprised of.
There is, but just know that I set parameters and failbacks for as much as I can.
Okay, so I'm new. I feel like this might be a good time for one of y'all to start spilling some tea so I can catch up on what the fuck y'all been up to.
Where do you want to start?
And this is where we intercut bits from a Lord Dumplings episode.
Montage.
The Lord, we cut back to the Lord Dumplings.
You and me, we'll have a fireside chat. No.
Yeah, we'll sort of jump back and just him sitting with a cup of tea or wine or whatever it is that's available and just okay, all right. I'm being honest here. What the fuck?
I could say the same thing, but here we are. And yeah.
Do you tell him everything?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Is there anything specifically that you leave out or augment?
No, actually. Anything you ask in further detail and specifics of, I'm honest and truthful with you.
Wow, not even
to the best of my memory.
Like we said, tall, dark, and handsome.
I just saw. Was that new cologne you're wearing? Oh no.
It's a new cologne. I love what you're wearing.
That's my swamp musk.
No.
It's so intoxicating.
And then Iskra got this woman turned into dust.
Amazing. Okay. So you spend,
So
I guess.
that's where the goats come from. Okay, gotcha. I'm on board now.
I wasn't there for that, but yeah, the goats. Yeah.
The goats. We don't speak of the goats. They are not talked about on this stream. Soul. All right. Anyway. All right.
Yeah, so we'll bid him good night with a little handshake and just let me know if something changes, or at least let somebody know.
Will do. Is that he's sleeping in your room?
Yeah, I think he's had a bit of a day. How's this going to go trance out in the galley?
I mean, you don't have to leave if you don't want to. Because it's like sundown-ish now.
I would say it's more of the afternoon. You guys did hear the call at some point for lunch, as Galil had prepared a meal for everybody to eat, and it's kind of more of the not so much everybody gathered together kind of thing. It's just everyone kind of gathered and grabbed their food.
It is available if you want it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick question, Galil, are you in chat?
I think he's still around. Yeah.
If he is in chat, Galil, I'm gonna take your spice member since you don't ever use it. Message me if you say no, but
message me otherwise it's fine.
So and then going up to get a plate, I just no, knock on Okay.
Ooh, kebabs.
All right. Yeah. He's
Go
wow,
knock on his
nice.
door, ask him like, "Hey, you never use that thing. Can we put it to good use and take his spice armor?" And then I'll be like, "Okay." Come present it to Ardrin. Be like, "Hey, got this from someone who is just letting it sit there and collect dust. Maybe you can better use it, and I'll toss it to you." Oh, you gave it a sparrow already. I go to Sparrow. I'm like, "Listen, I gave you all this shit. You're gonna give it back." No.
Wow. Wow.
No, but I will ask Sparrow for it then.
Ardrin has learned so much about kindred in this episode.
So much. And it now makes so much more sense. A lot of what
not all in good ways.
Yeah,
in some. But
yeah. No, for sure.
That's down in the kindred notes of what the F.
A lot of what the F. There's a lot of that in him. All right, so as you guys continue into the afternoon, Sol, Sonder, North, anything else you guys are wanting to do before we move on?
Did I get anything?
Yes. That was 5 years ago, and I had forgotten about it. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
You were looking for what in particular?
Another sign, or maybe like another message from
something
the entity.
Somewhere. Not in that time, no. You just kind of sat in the dark in a meditative state. Go ahead and, what would you like to have attempted to do, or you're just waiting for something to come to you?
I was hoping I could like meditate myself into going back to where I was, or like kind of picture going back there to see if I could trance back.
Okay.
And try to talk to whatever reached out.
If that is what you are wanting to try, in that time, nothing would have reached out. Nothing made first contact, I should say. You might have to try to be more specific or deliberate in your attempts in the future, if that makes sense. In other words, like nothing was like waiting for you to talk to it. You get the sense that maybe you might need to seek it out, kind of thing.
You have to make the first move and ask them on a date.
Sure.
Please come to my bedside.
Yeah, you might try offering up a prayer or words into the dark. I don't know, something along those lines, perhaps. All right, so
I will be doing.
Go ahead, Sonder.
I'm going to offer up a prayer.
Okay.
For our journeys.
What are you saying?
I'm going to say. By the dew on morning flowers, to the great wings of platinum, I ask for your blessing as we move into this treacherous land. Guide us. And then I'll see my mantras. That's it.
Guidance is what you seek. Guidance you will find. Child of the islands. Your efforts are not in vain. Your path is not set yet. There are those eager to do justice.
The voice
Like-
kind of like resonates and it echoes and it's like vibrations through your bones.
I think I like the old man.
Oh, somebody clip that.
Amazing.
Old man or princess? Which one? No.
Oh,
Does he know they're one and the same?
I was not expecting that. I don't think Sunder was either.
You're like, neither one of us were expecting that. No, because he has not really done a true form voice to you before. He has come to you in various avatars and such, but never in a true to form self.
Will do your bidding. What you will. Great one. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend like the next 3 hours just meditating.
Just like happy
Yeah.
meditation continues. Yeah, he talked to me. All right. As the afternoon progresses on, those a few occasions where you guys peer out the window, you can see that the landscape does not improve. Where you can see landscape, for the most part, if you're peering out the porthole, you'll see the ever-passing canyon walls, and you can feel the ship kind of, as the shadows kind of move in your rooms a little bit as the ship like navigates through the winding canyons of this river, continuing to flow upwards against the current. Occasionally, the ship, while it's in the canyon, after a while, you can feel it start to lift and rise up above the waters itself, still staying within the canyon's confines, but just floating along the river. As you guys get to a couple of instances where rapids or small waterfalls kind of have taken the river and now have made it impassable if you were to try and completely traverse upwards. But you stay within the hidden valley of the canyon. You guys, as you are lifting up out of the water and kind of looking outside, you can see those like cataracts of water just cascading in their, not necessarily crazy violence, but they're definitely rough and would cause some serious damage. But eventually the ship kind of finds itself at the top of whatever rise that this had gone to, and you continue to sail for another couple of hours, and as sun is beginning to set, you finally see sunlight clearly entering into some of your rooms as you have left the canyon and are now out in a lazy flowing river. Who is everybody staying below decks, or is anybody up on top?
Once
Stay below.
food was announced, I was gonna want to get some lunch.
Yeah, that would have been like earlier. But once now in the evening, a few hours have passed since then. Anything you guys are just kind of chilling for now for the moment in your rooms, doing your respective things.
I'll head back up to the deck. Why not?
Okay.
Doing the math in my head, what would be like the time for a Tet? Knowing where they were last.
It's kind of hard to say because you don't know where the city is now. Knowing where they were last,
Yeah, that's what I'd go off of.
probably at least 4 to 5 hours behind you, maybe
Okay.
less.
Okay. That's when I'll go ahead and send the supplies. So the spell's already marked off and paid for, and I sent you all the stuff.
Okay.
Waiting just in case something pops back in the chest.
And you sent it to Atet directly?
No, I sent it to Bravel,
Brussels.
but confirming first that he was available to receive the package.
Yeah. Yeah, he will respond and he is able to receive.
Okay.
You get a message back a little while later. No, like that comes back with like a little quickly draw handwritten note from Brazel itself saying, they will deliver the goods, and good to hear from everyone. Sometime later, though, the voice of Neferu comes into your mind. Interesting bunch of packages, darling, that you've sent. The letters have all been delivered, for the most part. Your peculiar requests are going to be considered. Please take care. You're entering the lion's den now.
That's
That's
it.
it. That's it.
Taking a moment, just absorbing it all in. Will do. You're still fabulous. I have a surprise for you. Maybe a little different from the last time you saw me. You'll see.
All right. So then, in that case, Iskra, as you are up on deck, see in the distance, you guys are approaching what looks like a massive plateau as the sun is starting to set. And even as the sun is setting and darkness is falling, you can see that there are the faintest of glimmers of light coming from a point in that you seem to be headed towards. You imagine that this might be some sort of city or large settlement, at least, as like it's very faint because it's obviously not the electric lights of the distant city that we see in our day and age, but it is still nonetheless the glimmer of something either reflecting the light of the setting sun and or the lantern, like hundreds and hundreds of little lantern lights.
I'm gonna go over to the pipes of communication and call people up to the deck. Like, nothing urgent, but the sunset looks nice and there's something in the distance.
The pipes are across the room. A good something or a bad something?
A city. Maybe. Lights, anyway.
They'll tell me if it was something. I'm good.
I'd rather not go out there. I still don't know what we're going into, and I think I stick out a little bit too much.
Arjun, on the other hand, goes to meet Iskra.
Suit yourselves.
Vanch goes up there as well.
Of course you would. Ugh.
If it's past 3 hours, I'll go up there as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is now like, go ahead.
I would love so much that the way this show ends, like the series finale is Vanch and Kindred end up married.
No.
Goals.
I've heard
very
real life
special
love
to the
stories
Santos.
of people who couldn't stand each other and then they ended up falling in love. So it happens.
True.
Hey, I've watched The Nanny. I know how it goes.
Oh my goodness. Yes. All right. So, Sonder, you're up there. Renan, you, I would imagine, have probably awoken. Are you still staying in bed?
After hearing everything like come through the pipes, I feel like he was probably fitfully sleeping, so like waking up periodically and just going back to. And then when Kindred spoke through the pipes, he finally got up.
Okay. Those of you on the top deck, you can see now as what Iskra was referring to is on the horizon. The sun is now pretty much set, and you know that you're, well, judging from distance, if you like to make perception checks for me, guys.
It's not daylight, right? Yeah, it's
No,
night
it's
properly.
yeah.
Okay.
Or at least the sun has set. So you're still like the light of the sun is on the horizon, but it is no longer above the horizon.
24.
Nice.
19.
Artificial 20.
Nice.
I rolled a decent perception for once.
As you guys are just like
26.
looking out, it looks 26. It looks about at least a couple of miles off still, but you can see the plateau that this structure is built up in against. You can see the continuation of what looks like another canyon as the river kind of at this point seems to be just this one straight shot up towards this plateau. The water around the bows of the ship as it goes along is black almost.
Do we get the impression that the river has been modified? Like, is it a canal at this point?
Not so much. It's actually gotten a little wider, which was a little strange considering how deep in the desert you are. You would imagine it being smaller in amount, but it in fact seems to have gotten wider. It has now become more smooth as it has had less, like, it almost has like a slow moving river.
Viscosity.
Yeah. It's
Or
almost,
more
no, it's just
Shallow
really
but wide.
Yeah. So now that it's wider, it just has it seems to be a lot smoother, and you can see as the ship moves along and it plows this furrow along the length of the river, it just kind of leaves those ripples that kind of like expand ever outwards behind you. Arjun, go ahead.
Does the ship have any like active running lights going on?
There's a couple of lights of like lantern lights. You can see that there is light that is coming from some of the windows in the second floor.
He's gonna go down and start actually extinguishing them if he can.
Okay.
Like flipping switches or blowing
Yeah.
out candles or whatever,
Yeah,
just to
for sure.
not announce themselves as much.
Dimmer switches. No.
Yeah. Hey Google, turn off the lights. I was trying to say it loud, as quietly so my phone wouldn't hear me.
Your house goes into rave mode.
You know, beep, 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 beep. Yeah. As you are coasting along, and you're getting closer, you just notice that the water's getting like, it just looks dark now. It almost seems to reflect the light of the stars that are now starting to pop up and appear behind you. And as you wait and continue to move forward, Captain Illy comes up to you guys. All right, it looks like we're gonna be approaching the ship, the city now. Do you want me to pull in here, or should we pull it into the docks there? Because if we stay in the water, they shouldn't be able to tell exactly what we are, probably, but I don't know if you want to put us in that situation. This is kind of your thing. We can either stop here, or you guys can walk the rest of the way, or we can use the little minnows. They can at least get you closer if you can find a place to stow them.
We don't really have anything on board that would give us away, right? We could dock.
Yeah, potentially, as long as, these are your run-of-the-mill Thayans and not, some archaeological specialists that happen to be in town visiting from the deserts and have seen this kind of ship before. But it's not exactly like something that goes around flying over Thay usually anyway.
It just looks like a boat right now. I know it's in the water, but
Yeah.
does
So the side
require
pilot,
airship features? Are they
Yeah.
like submerged?
They are basically right at the water, either the water's line or just below it. So it does look like a sailing vessel.
Without a sail.
I'm about to say, yeah, we don't have a sail.
Is that it has a mast but no sail on it.
And that's gonna look suspicious.
Possibly.
Is there anything that could be used as a sail, like that he's seen so far?
There might be enough of tarp and canvas that you could use, that they use for like covering things, that you might be able to fashion something.
We could roll it up and make it seem like it's put away.
Yep, he'll see to doing that.
Okay.
If anyone wants to help him.
Yeah, I'll help out. That seems like a bigger task.
Sure. All right. So then, for the now, as you guys, she slows the pace of the ship so that it doesn't. So buys you a little more time. So you are gonna wrap the canvas around the main mast to kind of give it the appearance of like.
Yeah, topsail.
Topsail. Alrighty. Go ahead. Ooh. Let's see. What would you like to roll for this?
For someone else to do it.
Stealth.
Deception. Ooh, deception. I like deception.
Stealthception.
Stealth deception. Yeah, why not? You can use a little. We'll say we'll do a.
How about
averaged
performance
out.
and deception?
Who all is helping out with this? We have at least 2, 3.
I rolled 26 on stealth.
Okay.
Damn.
But
No, that's fine.
I'm gonna go with performance.
Okay.
I got an artificial 20 on my perception. Or
Nice.
deception,
Deception.
rather.
Nice.
and my proficiency bonus, since I am proficient with vehicles on the water and air.
Sure. Knowing how the ships should look or whatever, you guys managed to collectively fasten something that would be believable to some to the
21,
best of your
by the way.
extent. Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
I was muted, but I raised my hand. I got a
Okay.
24.
Sure. What did you roll for that one?
I rolled a stealth for that one.
Okay, so just kind of like help out and make it as sneaky as possible. In essence. All right, so the 4 of you, as you guys gather together and finish this up, you guys managed to finish up just in time to see that now that night has fallen, you are probably only about a mile away from this city, the city of Amrutlar. As you guys are coasting in, you can see that there are a couple of other smaller little vessels that seem to be moving towards you and eventually start to pass you. Little, it's not like patrol boats of any sort, it's just almost like little fishing boats or little rowboats that kind of just pass along. But you can see a city, sizable, built up against the edges of this plateau, and rising from the center of it is a large obsidian black fortress. Rising and towering above the city, it juts out from the plateau wall that kind of extends in either direction into the darkness. But this fortress is massive, and it looks almost like what you would imagine like if a meteor or something, a comet, had smashed into the wall of the plateau and then just kind of frozen in place. There's these jagged spikes of black obsidian that just kind of erupt, it seems like, from the plateau itself. And down and around it, the city kind of like just expands outwards. You can see that there is a little bit of a harbor where a couple of sailing ships, almost more like barges, as they are wide and long and narrow, wide and long. The city itself is a mixture of spires and steepled buildings, almost appearing almost like Victorian Gothic in nature, mixed with a more of a poor populace amongst it that has like ramshackle shacks, but they seem to slowly move upwards, and like almost as if the bigger and nicer buildings are scooched as close to the edges of this fortress as possible, trying to hide under its shadow and protection. And while the rest of the populace is just kind of spread out into the sands, almost like it had been debris that had exploded outwards from where the fortress lies. Welcome to the city of Amrutlar. And as the ship slows and maneuvers its way into the harbor, that is where we will end for tonight.
A quick thing.
What?
As we start docking and getting closer and closer, I would have started casting on the ship guards and wards.
Okay. What are you doing with that?
Oh, it's the thing where I reconfigure the entire mansion.
Okay, what are you doing with that though?
Casting it on the ship, so any with the password being all of us on board the ship currently, touching all the doors as I pass through each level of the ship and going around all the entrances, windows, activating it.
Okay.
And before too, as we're approaching the city, looking at this and looking at just kind of being back here, not in the specific place, but in closer to Thay. That's whenever I'll kind of mutter to myself under my breath, Lady of Loss, engulf me in your protection.
Okay. All right. Well, as we start this next adventure into the depths of your first fully Thayan city. Ooh. That was exciting. All right. Good job, guys. You survived another wild and crazy adventure on the river. This is like what was that movie? African Queen or Jungle Cruise, except you're in the middle of the desert.
I was thinking Anaconda.
Looks like you're on the wrong side of the river.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, listen, Galil, we don't want to go into the city without you. That's kind of like a thing. So, we want you to be here, and hopefully, well, hopefully you'll feel better by next week. In the meantime, we will see you on Friday evening for the next installment of the Fae Hunters. And until then,
who's
doing the recap. Thank you for reminding me, because I always freaking forget. All right, let's see. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll just do a D8.
Say it in German.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, that wasn't even the language.
All right, 7. Dang it! Listen, Renan, you need to stop moving around. All right, we're gonna have it Kindred this time. It's the next closest one. Yeah, Kindred. You got out of it. You've been voluntold. Not me, because I was rarely here. Yeah, that's fair. Don't worry about it, Galil. We got you.
Mine can only be stretched in so many places.
Yeah. Really? Can it? Really? You want to tell me more? Tell me more about how your mind can only be stretched in so many places.
Kindred featured very prominently this evening, so it's appropriate.
That's also true.
What about the princess?
Maybe, who
what about the princess? No.
Is Ardrin Spider.
Oh my god.
Is wide, long, and narrow.
He just what he sees crawling throughout the vents in the corners, and he's
There's some wicked little junk. I'm gonna kill it, and that's it. It's over.
That's it.
It turns into like a murder mystery. We all start getting whacked off one by one. It's the spider.
Whacked off.
I need there to be.
You didn't think that one through, did you?
Oh, I thought about it long and hard.
There needs to be like messages left in spider stuff around the ship.
He's just like, I was crawling on the floor towards the.
All right, so we will see you on Friday, Everyone have a good night. Be safe. Stay groovy. Bye.
Yeah.